Hi, I'm Jim from All Terrain Cycles. What we're going to do today is replace the brake pads in the back of the Shimano caliper. Most brake calipers work on the same principle. This happens to be a Shimano MT200, but like I say, most of them work in the same sort of principle. So, first thing you need to do is put your chain down into your highest gear here. It just means when you put it back together, you don't have to worry about where that chain sits. You always know it sits there. So regardless of what you're doing, if your back wheel's coming out, put your bike in top cog. Just get used to doing it. It makes life so much more straightforward. So, undo your quick release or pull out your bolt through, whatever it happens to be on your bike, and drop the wheel out. So that's step one. The next step, because your brake pads are worn, is you need to push these pads back so that you can get the new pads in and the disc will still fit in there. So, easiest ways to do that, take a fairly big flat screwdriver, bob it between the pads and just twist it. And the pads will just sink back all the way home and the pistons are fully back where they belong. Next thing you need to do is remove the retaining pin. This caliper, like I say, an MT200 uses a split pin. The MT400 also uses a split pin. Some of the more expensive calipers will use either an Allen key or a screw in that side, and that one you just wind out. On here, you need to bend the split pin back. Try and do it so you can still see on the camera. A bit more tricky like doing that. So bend the pin straight. You'll have to trust me, it is really straightforward when you're trying to do it. Pull the pin straight out, and then the pads, push your finger down through the top, and they'll just come out. So there we go, brake pads out of the bike. So now what you need to do, pretend this is new set pads, bob the spring back in, bob the other pad back on, and hopefully you can see on there that the spring's sat against the pad material, not between the pads. So easiest way, hold them together like that and just slide them in. I bob my finger through the top of the caliper just to guide them in, and there you go, they're all the way home. Then important, get your retaining pin back in. If that's not in, the pads can just drop out, which obviously isn't good for braking. So bob that through, make sure it goes through the pads. If it doesn't go through the pads aren't all the way home in the caliper, and again they'll just drop out. And then again, make sure that you bend the split pin over. You don't want the pin coming out because then obviously the pads can come back out. So that's it, effectively brake pads there are replaced, and we can go ahead and just bob the wheel back in. So bob your chain onto that top cog, then your rear mech won't get in the way, and the disc will just go straight between the pads. Pull it all the way home into the dropouts, tighten your quick release. So that's that bit. Just pedal it round so that your chain's where it belongs, and very importantly, pull the brake lever a good few times just to settle the pads again. If you don't do that, you can literally go on your first ride, pull the brake, it'll come right back to the handlebar. So make sure that's working perfectly as it is there. Job done. We're going to do a few more of these videos. If there's anything specific you want to see, just drop a comment below, and please subscribe and like our channel. Thank you.